Our name may have changed, but our commitment to advancing your business with unparalleled baking solutions and expertise never will.
Let's talk about ciabatta, Italian slipper bread. This particular product is made from one of Caravan Ingredients bases called Italian slipper base. The characteristics of this product is once it's mixed, as you can see, it's very sticky. It's a very high absorption dough. This dough has 76% water to flour inside of it. When you're working with it, if it's not sticking to you and it's not flowing all over the place, then you did something wrong. It's not the easiest product to work with, but it gives you the product, the bread that your consumers are looking for with the characteristics that they desire. Once we turn this out onto a well-floured bench, we're going to flour the top, pat it so that it's kind of a uniform size and thickness all the way through, and we're going to leave this on the bench for an hour covered with a piece of plastic so that it doesn't dry out, and let it get some fermentation time to develop the bubbles that we're looking for on the interior crumb and to develop the flavoring that we're looking for on the finished product. Moving down the table, we have the dough down here that's been resting for an hour. You can see that it's pretty much at least double in its volume. And what we're going to do when we make this up is very, very gently. You don't want to degas this dough. You have to very, very carefully get it out to a uniform thickness without stressing it at all. The way we do that is just kind of reaching underneath it, lifting and pulling, lifting and pulling. You can flatten it just slightly from the top just to kind of move the dough, not enough to actually degas anything. From there, we're going to cut this into strips. It's usually about 6 inches wide, 5.5, 6 inches wide, all the way down the length of the bread. It's a little easier to work with now. Once we've cut it, we can get our hands underneath there a little bit simpler, and we can actually influence the finished shape a little bit easier. Then we're going to cut it into the lengths that we want to use. And we're going to put the pieces onto a flat baking screen, or if you'd like, you can put them on a peel board and actually hearth bake them in a deck oven, which gives you a very, very nice results. What we've got here is the classic ciabatta with a nice open grain with the holes inside of it. That's a desirable characteristic for this particular loaf of bread. This is mildly sour, has a real nice crust on it, goes great with olive oil dipping and balsamic vinegar. Delicious. So in summary, what the key points of making a good ciabatta bread is first of all, starting with the proper amount of water in the mix. Again, this particular dough that you see on the bench today has 76% water in it. Secondly is making sure that you give it the proper rest time on the bench for fermentation and flavor development. And then lastly, making sure that when you go to divide it into the individual loaves, that you don't end up degassing the dough and causing the structure to collapse. That will give you the ciabatta bread that your customers are looking for and that you can be proud to have in your bakery.